Aspire. What a journey it has been for me. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it has always been an easy journey. In fact, nothing has been easy when it came to Aspire. It all started on a fall afternoon in 1982. I'm sitting with a friend of mine and we're perusing the stations, watching evangelist after evangelist after evangelist talking about hell and damnation. And I looked at my friend while we were eating our peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I said, you know, this has got to be the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. Well, we started laughing. Finally, he looked at me and said, well, why don't you do something about it if you feel so strongly about it all? And I said, like what? He said, make your own TV program. So I thought about it. He was right. So without really a hesitation of any doubt in me, which would have been my normal way, the next thing I know, I've got a phone book in my hand. I'm looking up production companies. I dialed the first one, happened to be there on a Saturday, believe it or not. And it all starts. I go, sit down with them, talk about myself, talk about what I'd like to do. Nobody could figure out what Aspire was going to be. They had never heard of anything like what I wanted to offer. I didn't even have a name for the program at the time. So on the way back, I'm on Highway 5 going towards Del Mar, and there's this great big sign and it says Aspire. It was a housing track. I couldn't believe it. Aspire. What did that mean? Why was I so drawn to this name? I pull over this side of the road, I call my secretary up, and I ask her to look up the word aspire in Webster's dictionary. Come to find out it means breath of spirit. Who'd have thought? And the next thing I know, I've got a name for a TV program. I've got a production company to help me make it. And now I have to go and ask, well, the congregation at the time, whether or not they would allow me to do it. I had to raise money, and that has always been the great bugaboo. You know, when you're teaching something that, well, has no fear or hate in it, it's very, very hard to get people to see the value of it. I wanted to serve humankind. I wasn't there to make people rich. I wasn't there to improve their lives. I wanted people to have something different on TV. And to this day, there is no other program in San Diego or anywhere else that I know of that is like Aspire. Aspire has poured into so many places over the years. It's gone to prisons, hospitals, rest homes, but even more importantly, into your home. It has gone there to help you. You called it into your life, whether you know it or not. And you brought it into your living room for you to have an opportunity to hear something out of the box, something beyond the childish, well, unhappy, unkind, and absolutely inept teachings that most evangelists and ministers offer to do nothing more than make money for themselves. I am not here to be wealthy. I have never taken a cent for doing anything with Aspire. It has always been my gift. In the end, I have become the biggest donor because what I try to offer to you is what I want you to realize within yourself. You are the beauty of this life. You are the substance and the meaning of it. Aspire has saved many people's lives over the years. I've heard about it from not only people whose lives have been literally saved, but from therapists, even ministers who have said that they have had people in their congregations watch Aspire and it turned their life around. When you make a donation to Aspire, when you help keep Aspire on the air, you are doing far more than keeping a quote-unquote TV program going. You are entering into the lives of thousands and thousands of people who listen to Aspire on radio up here in the Central Coast, as well as those of you who get to enjoy the TV program down in San Diego. It has served humankind since 1983, and I have worked very hard to make it possible. Everything I do in a day, 7 days a week, is to raise money for airtime through my counseling, through my newsletter, through my discourses, through everything I try to do to help you, that we might be able to serve humankind. Recently, I was leaving San Diego after a workshop, and as you go through those security gates, you know, where all the security guards are, a man recognized me, one of the security people, and he ran over to me and he told me how much the program meant. And then another person came over to me, and another, who finally recognized me and said, I have to sit down and tell you what your program has done and what it has meant. From nobody likes you anyway, to the Eightfold Path of Buddha, to what is the point of it all, to a life worth living. Everybody has found some kind of inner value to what I have offered on Aspire. It is there to serve a part of you that is often forgotten, your spiritual part, your heart of heart part, the part of you that has been, well, sad to say, maybe neglected all these years. And why was it neglected? Simply because of survival means and learning how to survive in a world where only hate is honored. Aspire is a very unique program. It offers the alternative to conventional belief and thinking. It offers you a chance to hear another voice that lives inside you. It's not just me speaking to you. It is another voice that speaks to you from beyond the other shore. Your support, your help to keep the program on the air is your voice. And matched with mine, we make a chorus to help humankind. And believe me, it has happened. You will find as you listen to Aspire more and more that the message is very familiar to you. You know this message. You felt it. You resonated to it. Your mind is confused maybe a little bit about the words or whatever it is I'm talking about, but somehow within you, you know it is true. You know the truth of it all, and your being resonates to it. And the more you do, the more you find the meaning of yourself. Aspire. The breath of spirit. It can only survive. It can only live. It can only serve its purpose. It can only serve humanity because of people like you. At the end of every program, at the end of every radio program, TV program I do, I always ask you, please forgive me. Too many words sometimes. Sometimes a little inept even here, but always sincere and always there to show you that you are the breath of spirit. Please forgive me. Namaste.